Hi, Jamie with you again. I hope you're very well indeed. Thanks for joining me here on Talking Sonics. Yes, I have a new name for the YouTube channel, haven't mentioned it again, but the concept here is me being a musician slash producer, sharing some information, hopefully growing a community, and being a little bit honest, like being not the rock star, so to speak, and just sharing some information and being a bit of a human being, because we all need to live, learn, and enjoy our craft. And I'm here to talk about this, or should I say this versus this, and these headphones, singing into headphones with a condenser microphone versus singing into a dynamic microphone in front of some studio monitors. Why? Well, because I was recently tracking a song and had quite a lot of difficulty in pitching and kind of getting the breath and the projection of my voice well while using headphones and singing into a very sensitive condenser microphone. Have you had that trouble? Please let me know, comment below. For me, I just found that I was a bit choked in my approach, or maybe singing a bit more too sort of reduced or compressing my voice, not projecting myself out so naturally. And I thought, well, I'd try this method. And the reason being is that for me, as a young musician, I spent a lot of time in bands and having to sing with foldback wedges and being used to that environment, playing off other musicians, singing over the drums, adding some balls and sort of projection and grit and power to my voice via needing to sing quite loud to project myself. So how to do that in the studio? Well, sing in front of some studio monitors, almost like a live foldback wedge type scenario. Now, you might have seen some other musicians, like I can think of Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers, Bono from U2, sometimes singing into the little small Auratone cubes, or as we used to call them back in the day, the Horatones, as they're a one speaker, very limited range, and a little bit nasty, but a bit like a car radio, or the old car radios from the 50s. So how's it done, and do you get bleed? Well, the idea really is to reduce rejection, or to reduce the sound or the bleed of the background music coming out of the speakers and into your microphone. So obviously a very tight cardioid pattern. So this is a nice 70s Sennheiser 421, which is a very sweet, warm sounding microphone, fantastic, but also a very tight cardioid response. So it's picking up what's in front of the microphone, not these speakers that are behind. Yes, you can still get some bleed, but for me recently in my tracking, I didn't have much of a problem. The other way of going about things, if you really want to cancel out bleed, is to record a bleed track. And this can be done by recording a second track of vocals with the backing track coming out at the same level that you recorded your original vocal track, but instead of singing into the microphone, just face the microphone as if you were going to sing, and just don't sing, just record the backing music. Some of that sound will come out of the speakers, hit the front of your face and reflect into the microphone, and that will add a little bit more brightness or further bleed into the microphone. Then when you've got the two tracks together, what we call the bleed track and the original track, mix those two together and flip the phase on the bleed track. So the idea of the bleed track is just to have that second version of the backing track that you can mix in with the original track, flip the phase, which will ultimately and hopefully cancel out the bleed from the vocal track. How does this work? Well, think about sound waves hitting each other, or an analogy I like to talk about is just, waves in a bath, or someone splashes from this side of the bath and that side, and then the waves come together and boom, hopefully they hit each other and cancel out or flatten out. So sound waves obviously travel in this sort of a motion. They eventually meet in the middle and the energy cancels each other out. Was it Newton? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. I guess that's the concept behind flipping phase and getting rid of the bleed track. But for me, it wasn't such a problem, but it's a great result. For me, I could project, I could hear myself more easily, and I sang more naturally. It felt like I was even more relaxed, even though I was projecting better. So let me know what you think. Have a go. Let me know if you have any trouble like this. I mean, I'm being honest, I'm a musician. I had really some horrible times trying to get some good pitching, some good phrasing, feeling comfortable with this particular song that I was working with. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes. So try this little way of going about things. You don't have to do the bleed track or flip phase method. I have heard horror stories about flipping phase of speaker wires, which is a bit harder now with powered monitors. Like I've got these powered events here, you can't really easily flip the phase of one speaker wire. In any case, it sounds atrocious and it's very difficult to listen to music with flipped phase speaker wires. That's another story. So maybe try the bleed track recording, or if you're comfortable, just put that microphone facing directly opposite or to the speakers, sing into it, moderate level, get up tight and close. Hopefully there's no feedback. Of course, this method is not going to work with a condenser microphone, which will be far too sensitive and will feedback. So let me know what you think. Give it a go. Perhaps try using your favorite dynamic microphone. For me, I did the normal sort of compression and adding some EQ. I had a lovely Mercury Pultec style EQ, adding some silky top end and a bit of bottom end to richen and round out the sound. And my fantastic David Hill Crane Song Tracker. But yes, you can use simpler EQs and compressors to get a good vocal sound, and of course it's all about performance. Could you get perfection with headphones and a condenser mic? In my case, I could not perfect the performance. This way was a bit like being at a live gig. I was very comfortable. 2 takes, I had it all done, wrapped up, fantastic. So let me know what you think. Please comment. Thanks for joining me here today. I hope to see you real soon. Thanks for joining.